In this lecture, we'll look at the game loop and update method patterns. The motivation behind the game loop pattern is that we want to decouple the progression of game time from user input and processor speed. So remember, games are simulating a world, right? And time passes in that simulated world, and we want to make sure that the passage of time in our game world is not dependent on when the user provides input, or even worse perhaps, how fast the processor is. So some early games did not take processor speed into account. So if you ran the game on a processor that was twice as fast as what it was developed for, the game ran twice as fast. And we don't really find that acceptable in the game development domain, at least anymore. So the game loop helps us decouple from both user input and processor speed. Here's a description of the pattern. So we have a game loop that runs continuously, and it processes user input without blocking. So whenever that happens, it happens. It updates the game state, and it renders the game. It keeps track of passage of time so that it controls the rate of gameplay in the game. And we pretty much see the game loop pattern in every game. I understand that this picture is pretty much unreadable, but you can actually get to this picture and a deeper explanation of each of the boxes by Googling monobehavior lifecycle. So this is a demonstration of the game loop in Unity plus some extra stuff. So this loop part that I've highlighted is actually the game loop pattern. The motivation behind the update method pattern is that we want to take a collection of independent objects and we want to simulate them in the game world by having them each execute one frame of behavior at a time. So here's a description of the pattern. So we have a game world that holds a collection of objects. The Unity engine holds all the game objects in a particular scene, and then each of those objects are updated each update of the game. And of course, the physics engine will keep running the physics whether or not we implement anything in a script, but we can also implement both the update method and the fixed update method in a monobehavior script to provide additional processing either each frame of the game, which is where we put the update stuff, or on a fixed cycle of 50 times a second, which is the behavior that we put into the fixed update method.